We are here in Arlington, Massachusetts on a very nice late August day in 2011, and we are right on the premises of Town Hall, and in front of a statue created by Cyrus Dallin. Cyrus Dallin, was an Arlington citizen and resident, and he is noted for the famous statue in front of the Boston Art Museum of Fine Arts, the appeal to the Great Spirit. Anyway, you see here, in a town that is not noted for its conservatism, some interesting Christian history. Robin's Memorial Flagstaff by Cyrus Dallin, dedicated June 25, 1913. The figure depicts a Puritan divine, and that means a minister, a Pilgrim Mother, a Minuteman, and the Minuteman, as you'll see in a few minutes, has a weapon and a squaw sachem. So I'm going to fan on the statue, or the flagstaff base, and here is a Minuteman, and these Minutemen were organized. They were local militia that were organized by the towns, and the Minutemen, their job was to be ready in a very short amount of time, in a minute. And you see that musket, or the flintlock he carried, that was what was a major weapon that led to our independence from Great Britain. And on the base you see the word liberty. Interesting concept. And as we walk around the base, you see the sachem, and Cyrus Dallin did a lot of wonderful artwork on the American Indian. And you see the word obedience. Now that word tends to be kind of an ugly term, but it meant obedience to God and to God's word, not blind obedience to government. So, and here you see a Puritan mother, and the Bible, by the way, was the major textbook, or the basic. Every family had a Bible, and most people learn how to read by reading the Bible, and it was essential for instruction. Today, you couldn't read a Bible in any of the public schools in this country, including in Arlington, Massachusetts. And down here is the word patriotism. Now, patriotism gets a bad rap, unjustifiably so, because people say patriotism leads to nationalism and it leads to blind hatred. No, patriotism, if it's a nation that upholds the rule of law, that its laws are based on God's laws, and it's a nation to be patriotic. It's a nation worthy of patriotism. If it's a nation like a Nazi Germany or a Fidel Castro's Cuba, then patriotism would be a bad thing, because you're showing loyalty to a hostile state, a state that's hostile to freedom. So the word patriotism really is a good word, and patriotism, for the most part, is a positive thing. Again, when it's a nation or a state or a town or a city that upholds the Constitution of the United States and upholds principles that our nation was founded upon. And here, boy, can you imagine, right in Arlington, just next door to Cambridge, by the way. That's how close we are to, just at borders Cambridge. Here is a Puritan divine, and he's not reading a Stephen King novel. He's reading a Bible. And it's interesting that there was the very first book that was ever printed in the colonies was the Bible. It was the John Eliot Bible. John Eliot was the apostle to the Indian, and he actually had to learn the Algonquin language. Then he had to translate, then he had to put it into writing, because there was no written language in Algonquin. The Indians in North America did not have the written word until John Eliot came around. And he was quite successful in converting a lot of the Indians to Christianity. So when people tell you that our nation wasn't founded on biblical or Christian principles or godly principles, you can point out yet another example of our nation's godly heritage. Thank you. And for those interested in learning about our godly heritage, we recommend that you, here we pointed out to me by my friend and local Arlingtonian, Sean Harrington, the word honor. Now that's a very interesting word too, isn't it? Honor. There's a wonderful saying by Ralph Waldo Emerson. While I have some issues with the late Mr. Emerson, he did say, the more someone speaks of his honor, the faster we count our spoons. But honor. And you see that term, our founding fathers pledged their life, their fortune, in their sacred honor. And you know what, folks? They upheld that. Do we have many people in today's politics that are honorable? We refer to them as the honorable, but how many of them are actually honorable in the strict sense of the word? Anyway, to learn more about America's Christian heritage or godly heritage, I would suggest you visit campconstitution.net or .us, and there's a wonderful camp program that we teach these principles and many other important principles at our family camp. And with that, I want to thank you.